I want to share with you some information that I have found very upsetting. A recently released study showed that in the past 4 years, Latino families have lost almost 70% of their household wealth. This is in part because the Hispanic community was hit hardest by the housing market downturn. Many Latinos whose main assets were their homes live in states where the housing market meltdown was at its very worst, like California, Florida, and Arizona. And now, for a quarter of all Hispanic households, the only asset they own is a vehicle. We all know that millions of American families are suffering from this recession, but I'll give you a comparison to show how Hispanic Americans have been affected. The average Anglo family has a net worth of about $113,000. The average Latino family has a net worth of about $6,000. That's 18 times less. Now that you know these numbers, you know that Hispanic Americans cannot afford the luxury of time. The stakes are too high for partisan bickering and finger-pointing. A compromise must be struck, and the time is now. As the default crisis discussion veers towards cutting vital programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, I want to remind my peers that no one should hold the most vulnerable among us as collateral. Congress is elected to represent all the people, not just those who own private jets or whose incomes are in the highest 2%. Instead of manufacturing a crisis, we must focus on creating jobs. The most recent numbers say 9.2% of all Americans and nearly 12% of Hispanics are seeking work. Let's refocus and give them the help they need. The deficit ceiling is important, but the problem most in need of a solution for Hispanic Americans and all Americans is the jobs deficit.